This is my story. I started as a young apprentice plasterer when I was 15 years of age, many years ago, and I've spent over 40 years in construction. Now I've gone from plastering to healing, from plasterer to healer, if you want to say it that way. And I was actually at a really low point in my life going back several years ago, where I was going through an awful lot of trauma, a lot of emotional and mental issues within myself that I was finding it very difficult to deal with, to the point where I wanted to take my own life. And I was really in despair, and it was a horrendous place to be because I kept it to myself and I masked it, and nobody could see it, even my own family members. So I was thinking to myself, why has this come to affect me in such a negative way, and why did it happen in the first place, and why can't I deal with it? Because these negative aspects in my life really got a hold of me, and I just didn't want to be here. So what I started to do was immerse myself in study, and I started to study to be an energy therapist. And I was actually doing this while I was still working as a plasterer. So I'd be on site during the day, and I'd come home and I'd start treating people. Going back several years ago, bit by bit I was getting used to what I was doing, but I've always wanted to help people. I can say this wholeheartedly. I've always really wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I've actually found something that I absolutely love doing, and that is helping people to help themselves with a technique that I call EFT, otherwise known as Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping, where we start to release trapped emotions and energy blocks and traumas from past experiences. And this is what I realised myself, the stuff that I was holding on to, where it brought me to a point in my life that I thought, I just don't want to be here anymore. And I was thinking, why did it come to this? So number one, I realised that everything in life happens for a reason, and there is always a way out, and it's not that way. When you accept what has happened in your life and you take full responsibility for it, and you start to change the way you're thinking, things will start to change. And I have a wonderful saying, I say it to everybody, that if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. And if you always think the way you've always thought, you will always get what you're always thinking of. So when you grasp that, and you start to change what you're thinking about, and change how you're acting in life and how you perceive yourself to be, you start to change that inner dialogue, and you start to change the story that you've been telling yourself over many years, albeit negative. And then you start to change what's going on in your subconscious mind. You start to release limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging tendencies, and you eventually start to heal bit by bit and never give up. And whilst you're working on yourself, your self-development for many weeks, months and years, you start to grow so strong within yourself. You continue to raise your vibrational frequency, and wonderful things start to happen in your life. And eventually you will start to look back and think, something, I am so grateful for the traumas that have happened in my life and the negative experiences, because it's brought me to where I am now at this moment in my life, and this is who I am. I've molded myself into this person of incredible strength and full of confidence and encouragement for going forward in life, that you can deal with anything when you start to deal with past traumas, because it's as simple as this. Unexpressed emotions become suppressed, they become toxic, they interfere with the internal organ system, and if we don't heal the wounds from the past, we'll bleed all over the future. You have to feel it to heal it, otherwise nothing's going to change. So the point I'm doing this video is to really get it out there, to show people, what I can do, and I genuinely do this from my heart to help people to help themselves. And anything, I mean it, anything can be overcome, and anything can be changed with a change of consciousness. Change your thoughts, change your life, everything starts to change.